Today, we're diving into the incredible story of Achyut Godbole. It's a journey, really, a voyage, you could say, towards excellence. We're going to see how he went from a home with almost nothing to the very top of the global tech world and then made a choice that might surprise you. So, let's start at the beginning, with this really powerful contrast in his childhood. On one side, you have the financial reality. We're talking a tiny 300 square foot house. No fan, no fridge, not even a gas stove. But on the other side, wow, the cultural wealth was just immense. Imagine great poets just dropping by, conversations about Shakespeare and Mozart filling the rooms, and classical music playing all night. And that environment, it just lit a fire in him for learning. For him, science and math weren't just subjects to pass. He saw beauty in Newton's laws, real elegance in the Pythagorean theorem. This wasn't about grades, it was a genuine passion. I mean, he was solving ninth grade math problems when he was still in the seventh grade. That right there tells you he was building a problem-solving mind that would, basically define his entire life. And that passion, well, it absolutely translated into academic brilliance. In his board exams, he ranked 16th in the entire state of Maharashtra. That's out of over 1 million students. So yeah, he was definitely one of the brightest. He'd pretty much mastered the world of textbooks and tests. But his journey from his small hometown of Solapur to the super prestigious IIT Bombay, well, that was going to throw a challenge at him that no exam could have ever prepared him for. So he gets to IIT, and despite being this academic superstar, he hits a brick wall. See, his entire education up to that point had been in Marathi, and suddenly, he's thrown into a world where everyone, professors, students, you name it, is speaking fluent English. He felt completely alone and honestly, terrified. He couldn't put together a single sentence in English without struggling. And to make it so much worse, there was this arrogant senior who would just openly mock him, making him feel smaller and smaller. It pushed him into this massive crisis of confidence. And this was his rock bottom. You can just feel the pain in that quote. The humiliation was so bad that he made up his mind. He was done. He was ready to pack it all in, give up on the IIT dream, and just go home. And this moment is so powerful because I think we can all relate to that feeling, right? Facing something so big, so overwhelming that quitting feels like the only way out. That feeling of being completely and totally out of your depth. But right there, at the edge of walking away, something just shifted. Instead of letting that humiliation crush him, he decided to use it. He decided to fight back and to master the one thing that was making him feel so powerless, the English language. And this decision kicked off a complete transformation. He wasn't just trying to learn enough English to get by. No, that wasn't his style. He was aiming for excellence. He wanted to become so good that nobody could ever guess he'd spent his whole life studying in Marathi. So, he created this methodical 3-step plan. Super smart. First, he just read everything. English newspapers, novels. They became his new teachers. Second, he didn't just learn new words. He dug deep, studying their origins and how to pronounce them perfectly. And third, he practiced nonstop, talking to himself in the mirror to build up that fluency and, crucially, that confidence. Now, this wasn't an overnight thing. For the next 9 or 10 months, he was relentless with this routine. And slowly but surely, that terror he felt started to melt away. And what replaced it was this solid, unshakable confidence in himself and his ability to communicate. And that confidence, that became the launchpad for a mind-blowing 32-year career in the IT industry, where he didn't just work, he led several global software companies as their CEO. And during all those years at the top, he picked up some really important lessons about leadership. He learned that you just can't win as a loner. Teamwork is everything. He figured out you have to lead by example, treat your colleagues with humility and respect, and maybe most importantly, listen way more than you talk. Okay, so after 3 decades of incredible success, traveling the world, signing these huge deals, Godbolde decided it was time for another major change. It was time to return to his very first love. So get this, he's at a point in his career where he's getting offers for CEO positions with salaries around 3 crore rupees a year. And what does he do? He turns them down. He chooses to walk away from it all to become a full-time writer. You see, for him, this final part of his journey wasn't about a bigger paycheck or a fancier title. It was about chasing what truly gave him meaning. The real reward wasn't the salary anymore. It was knowing that his books on science and music and economics could reach and inspire thousands of people. So when you look back at his whole life, you can see this clear set of principles guiding him. A real thirst for knowledge, born in that home full of books, not things. The humility to turn his darkest moment into a plan for getting better. A belief in teamwork, learned in the trenches of the corporate world. And through it all, this unwavering quest for excellence in every single thing he did. And that kind of brings us to the big question, doesn't it? Acute God Bulle's story is such a powerful reminder that excellence isn't some finish line you cross. It's a journey, a continuous voyage. And it challenges all of us to look at our own lives and ask, what does my voyage towards excellence really look like?